in the crowd at Alumni Hall. You saw some of the coaches talk about the Big East Conference. It should be a very exciting season, and it should be Pittsburgh, Georgetown, and the always dangerous Orangemen of Syracuse.
I think people are seeing it that way, Bruce. You have to like Syracuse. I mean, they're ranked #1 in the country in some of the polls. Pittsburgh, a lot of talent. They're hurt by Goodson, losing him academically, and Georgetown is always tough full court. You know, I think right behind them, Seton Hall, 2-point game with Florida last night. Finals of the NIT will be tough. Villanova, you never know. St. John's is going to be tough. We saw the JUCO kids come in, new look team, Jason Williams. So, you know, I think the gap closing a little bit between the top teams and those teams vying to be there. So it should be another exciting season.
It'll be very interesting to see what happens at Providence with Gordon Chiesa taking over. He lost a lot of top quality players. Providence right near the elite last year. This year they may be in the middle of the pack.
Well, that's right, but, you know, I think Steve Wright's a quality player inside. I think we're going to see bigger things out of him. Darrell Wright came alive, you know, so they've really got a good team once again. Delray Brooks hits the three-pointer, and they're playing the same kind of ball, which is a lot of fun. Full court, up-tempo.
What about Boston College and UConn?
Well, they've really got to rebuild, both teams. Dana Barros, you know, is the key guy for BC, and they have to get some activity inside from Tyrone Scott and keep him out of foul trouble. As far as Jim Calhoun's Huskies are concerned, I guess they've got a couple of good young recruits coming in, and they have to get some, you know, production inside this year to really be effective.
Villanova has Doug West coming back. They also have the point guard Kenny Wilson back this year, and Mark Plansky, who is a bright player in the front court and does a beautiful job on the inside. It should be another exciting year in the Big East. When we come back, we'll preview today's ball game between the Redmen of St. John's and the Lions of Loyola Marymount. Back at Alumni Hall in a moment. Real surprise, Jason Williams, the sophomore from Christ the King High School, who had all of his points in the second half.
Very impressive. We saw him early in the first half where he came out, made a mistake. Louis talked to him, seemed to be diagramming something on the board, but he came out like a ball of fire in the second half. Had no points at intermission, but shots like that one, a nice turnaround jump shot, showed some touch, a jam on the fast break. He really looked impressive, and then some good hard yeoman's work on the boards, missing, getting his own rebounding, going back up. And yes, he was happy about that one. Well on his way to a 22-point second half effort.
Quite a debut for Jason Williams. Now, when you talk about Loyola Marymount, you talk about Corey Gaines. He is an outstanding shooter. He had 25 yesterday. And this guy might shoot from 40.
That's right. What's his range? We asked Paul Westhead. He'll shoot it as soon as he's over midcourt. And that seems to be Jeff Fryer's attitude, too, who plays alongside with Corey Gaines. But Gaines, you know, played so well yesterday, had some great athletic moves, a quality Division I big-time player. And the thing about it is, Paul Westhead said he can be even better. We'll see how he does today.
Well, we know the tempo is going to be fast, but how do you decide if you're going to run with rhyme and reason or just run crazy?
Well, you try to not do it crazy. And you talk to Paul Westhead about defense, and he says we're not really doing much there except scrambling. I think they're more organized than that. They have a very structured fast break, and they look to really launch it up there, but that's their style of play. Look for St. John's to just pick their spots a little bit more.
So Loyola Marymount has traveled east to take on the Redmen of St. John's in a tournament that St. John's has run and controlled over the years. They have won 12 consecutive Lapchick tournaments. Right now, we're ready for the singing of our national anthem. And let's go to John Amarante with the singing of our national anthem at Alumni Hall.
Oh, say, can you see by dawn's early light
the Lions of Loyola Marymount taking on the Redmen of St. John's. Both clubs 1-0. The season began yesterday, and today the first real test for both clubs. Paul Westhead, the head coach of Loyola Marymount, in his third year after stints in the NBA with the Lakers and the Chicago Bulls. And Luke Carnesecca in his 20th campaign at St. John's. Right now, let's go to the man with the golden tones, Bob Shepard.
Dark Cadillac, CCL 54H.
Well, Bob is clearing up a couple of matters before he gets to the introduction of the starting lineups. There will be no Cadillac on the court today.
Ladies and gentlemen,
and now we're ready for the starting lineup.
Starting lineup. For Loyola, number 5, Mark Armstrong. For St. John's, number 23, Matt Brust. For Loyola, number 20, Mike Yost. For St. John's, number 31, Shelton Jones. For Loyola, number 44, Hank Gathers. And for St. John's, number 14, Marco Baldi. For Loyola, number 21, Jeff Fryer. And for St. John's, number 4, Michael Porter. For Loyola, number 11, Corey Gaines. And for St. John's, number 3, Boo Harvey. The officials, Pete Papier, Tim Higgins, and Nolan Fine.
So we're set to go.
His Paul Westhead really brought a nice brand of what they call Loyola ball to Loyola Marymount. Up and down tempo, pride themselves and see if they can hit the 100-point mark, and of course winning ball games along the way.
Here are the starters and the matchups. Loyola Marymount is not very big. Their center is 6'7".
That's an area of exposure in this game, and if Shelton Jones can take advantage and St. John's can get some production out of Baldi and perhaps Sean Muto, and maybe Jason Williams when he checks in, there could be a decided advantage there for St. John's in this ball game.
So Paul Westhead's high-powered Loyola Marymount club coming east. They are members of the West Coast Athletic Conference. Pepperdine, San Diego, San Francisco, Santa Clara, St. Mary's College, Gonzaga, and the University of Portland. You can't hold it on us, he says. We won't play you. We're going to go the other way. And you know what his players usually say as the ball's ready to be thrown up? They say to the officials, I hope you guys are in shape.
Well, with 3 officials, that helps out a little bit. You can play positions, but they will be going up and down.
It didn't take long for the first shot of the game, and the rebound is pulled down by Matt Bruss. St. John's in the home white, Michael Porter. And the rebound pulled down quickly by Loyola. To the front court, Corey Gaines. Rebound, Yost. And Mike Yost is fouled by Matt Bruss.
Paul Westhead said that Yost isn't the kind of guy that's going to dazzle you out there, but he gets the job done. Last year averaging 19 points a game, and he said he's really a key player for us as Louis looks on.
There is no need for a 45-second shot clock in this game.
Not the way it's programmed up front. It looks like it's going to be a quick ball game up and down the floor.
Mike Yost on the scoreboard first. A senior from Chatsworth, California. 18 points in 28 minutes in the win over Tennessee Tech.
Look for the full court pressure by Loyola. It's set up. St. John's would want to get the ball in the hands of Boo Harvey, Michael Porter, and try to break someone long, perhaps Shelton Jones.
Marco Baldi to Matt Brust. Almost lost it.
Now Baldi ought to come down with that one, turn, pivot, and then hit his man. He tried to do it all in midair. Loyola coming out in a man-to-man defense, and we know that St. John's will be playing their man.
Marco Baldi tipped in almost by Michael Porter, and it's pulled down by Loyola. Steps called on the line.
Porter can really get up. Along with Boo Harvey, the new junior college transfer from San Jacinto Junior College in the suburbs of Houston, Texas. He had 10 rebounds in the game yesterday against Harvard. 6-1 backcourt match.
Matt Brust with the basketball. Off to Baldi. This is Boo Harvey. Boo way off the mark. And Gaines flying to the front court. Gaines hesitates. And Matt Brust comes up with the loose ball. St. John's still looking for their first bucket, trailing 2-zip. Shelton Jones fires. Rebound, Brust, and he lays it in.
Shelton just needed a little room that time. He cleared out Michael Porter, and then he put up the soft shot, which Brust followed.
Gaines fires, rebound pulled down by Armstrong. He turns, he hits.
Well, Armstrong is the leaper on the team, and he gave away 5 inches that time to Marco Baldi, but went up over him.
Loyola Marymount 12 and 16 last year, 4 and 10 in conference, but they've got a lot of transfers. Hank Gathers, a USC transfer in the middle, and Corey Gaines, a UCLA transfer in the backcourt.
And they joined Yost and Hank Gathers on the ball club, or Yost and Armstrong, I should say, 4-year players for Loyola Marymount.
Michael Porter.
Look for Loyola to scramble, as Paul Westhead calls it defensively.
Foul called inside. Shelton Jones pushing off.
What that scramble really means is you play man-to-man defense, but there's a lot of helping out, doubling up, and then you scramble to pick up the next open man when the ball is swung to the open person.
Gaines to the front court. Underneath Gaines. Lost it momentarily. This is Jeff Fryer. He'll put it up from anywhere. And the rebound controlled by Boo Harvey. Harvey and Porter worked very well together. Their first game for St. John's. Of course, they were the backcourt duo at San Jacinto Junior College the last 2 seasons. Marco Baldi, short. Shelton Jones with the rebound, and he stepped on the baseline. So St. John's has been sloppy thus far, trailing 4-2, 17-30 first half.
Both teams have been really. Loyola can get you into that kind of game because their tempo is so quick.
Fryer from long range, looking for 3 points. Good offensive board in there. And we have a whistle and an offensive foul call.
I think it was Mike Yost over the back on that one of Shelton Jones, picking up his first personal. Loyola not shooting it well early in this game, and I figure that it's very important, more so at Alumni Hall and St. John's home court, for Loyola to come out of the shoot more quickly. They can establish the kind of game they want, which is up and down the floor.
Baldi hands back to Boo Harvey.
Louis really using his big man, Marco Baldi, to get the ball up court.
Nice move by Jones, spinning to the hoop, and we're tied at 4.
This is Shelton's year, his senior year. He says he feels great, and he looked good on that one.
Yost connects. Mike Yost has 4, and it's a 6-4 lead for the Lions of Loyola.
And that enables the Lions to set up their press. St. John's, though, effectively breaking it.
Brust with the left hand lays it in, and a foul called, a blocking foul. And Matt Brust will look for the 3-point play.
That's the way you break pressure. St. John's traditionally has been content to break that pressure and set up and get the good offensive chance. Almost a kick ball there as the ball hit the back of Hank Gather's foot, but Matt Brust picks it up, finishes it off, and a blocking foul on Mark Armstrong. I think as long as you have Boo Harvey at the point, you're going to see St. John's really trying to attack that pressure.
Matt Brust, who had 11 points and 8 rebounds in the opener against Harvard.
All those points in the first half. He really was instrumental in St. John's building up that 15-point lead.
Brust connects on the free throw. 5 for Brust already. 7-6, St. John's by 1. Yost penetrates against Jones, lays it in.
Beautiful move by Yost. Now you know why Paul Westhead calls him a real key player on this club.
And a steal picked off by Jeff Fryer. Here's Corey Gaines. Yost to Gaines. He penetrates, puts it up and in. A pretty move, and there's no defense right now for St. John's. They're allowing penetration.
Unusual to see St. John's not helping out on that break.
Here's Boo Harvey, and this should be the type of game that fits his style because he loves the open court. 10-9 Loyola. On the baseline, Gathers backing in. Fryer fires. Rebound to Michael Porter. Here's Boo Harvey, 1-on-3. He pulls up anyway, and he gets the roll.
Oh, this is really the kind of game we were expecting at the beginning.
Game's out of control. Porter picks it up. Michael Porter, 3-on-2. Shelton Jones, a monster slam, but steps called on Jones.
Forgot to put the ball to the floor, but that sends a message anyhow. Big time jam.
Let's all take a timeout. St. John's 11, Loyola Marymount 10. First half.
I think the pace is really to the liking of the Lions. You can see Corey Gaines with a fine penetrating move. Michael Porter a half a step off there really on the help out. And then transition-wise coming back, Boo Harvey reads the defense very well. And he's got the clear lane for the easy basket for St. John's. Both teams really going at each other. If it slows down a little bit, look for St. John's to try to dump it inside to Baldy or Shelton Jones. Matt Brust can take advantage of a little bit of that bulk inside.
So Loyola with the ball and trailing by 1. Corey Gaines to the front court. Gaines a 6'4" senior. Transfer from UCLA. Mike Yost losing the ball to Michael Porter, and Porter is called for a reach. I think one of the things you have to be real concerned with in an up-tempo wild game such as this is that you don't get yourself in foul trouble, and it can happen very easily.
Oh, we saw that in the last game with Tennessee Tech and with Harvard pressing them all over the floor. Tennessee Tech getting in foul trouble. Not sure the official on that call had good position under the basket to make that call.
Rebound by Yost, and we have goaltending called against St. John's, against Shelton Jones.
No one blocked Yost out on that play. Jeff Pryor not finding the range. He can heat up from three-point land. So far, though, nothing but iron.
Boo Harvey rejected beautifully by Gathers. Here's Gaines against Baldy, challenging him. And Porter that time out-jumped Shelton Jones, and what he did was he took the rebound away from Shelton, who had good position.
Now, that happens a lot with two players hustling. Louis puts the take it easy signal on right there. Keep your poise, gentlemen. Two guys going for the ball. Oftentimes it'll be kicked out of bounds and you'll travel with it.
Three-point attempt. Gaines good.
Now, the one thing about the way Paul Westhead has his team playing, no one hesitates out there. They've all got really the green light to just let it fly, you know, run up and down the floor and play aggressively. So as a result, you don't see a lot of tentativeness on the part of his players.
Loyola leading by 4. Boo Harvey down to Shelton Jones. He turns. Rebound control by Armstrong. Here comes Gaines. Loyola moving it quickly again. Yost. Kept alive by Gathers, out of bounds, and it will be St. John's basketball, and a substitute, Nick Simmons, in the game for the Lions of Loyola.
The kind of game where you need the leadership and maturity of a Shelton Jones. Louis tried to establish him down low that last time, but the Lions did a good job of helping out at the low post.
Brust in the paint. And pure muscle helped Matt Brust get that shot off, that he will have 2 shots here. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that St. John's should control their break? Because, as you can see, Westhead's club is going to run and shoot within 10 seconds. I mean, do you think St. John's has got to play a little more control?
That's right. Loyola would like to see the track meet. It won't expose their weaknesses inside as much, and it'll get their quick people out and running. I think St. John's ought to attack the pressure if a 3-on-2 or a 2-on-1 break presents itself. But if not, you know, try to slow this thing down a little bit, get it into Jones, get it into Brust, and work the team that way.
Brust, the junior from Babylon, New York, transferred to North Carolina. We have a lane violation, and Matt Brust will get one more opportunity.
Seen a lot of lane violations early in this tournament. Anxious to get in there to box out. Players are leaving before the ball hits the rim.
Brust has 6 points in the game. St. John's cuts the lead to 2. Corey Gaines accelerating to the front court. Yost back to Gaines. Yost side jump. And this time the ball comes down to Boo Harvey. Again, Porter well above the rim, fighting with his own man, Matt Brust.
Gets way up for a 6'1" ball player. Above the rim on many occasions.
Brust to Jones. Shelton down low where he likes it, puts it up. Rebound Porter, there he is, gets the basket and a foul. And Michael Porter, who plays above the rim, is going to get a lot of points in the offensive board.
Hey, you've got to like the way he plays. Shelton needs to get it and just make his good quick move, aiming the ball a little bit, not having the good angle to kiss it off the glass, but Porter is there, very strong, agile, and he can get way up. Chance for the three-point play.
He is only 6'1", but has a vertical jump of somewhere between 35 and 40 inches. And he hits the three-point play.
It adds a nice dimension to your backcourt when you've got a guy that can go in and get you a few rebounds and help out inside.
He averaged 6 rebounds per game in junior college for a guard.
You read that stat and you wonder, gee, is that legit? It's legit after you see him play.
Well, yesterday in his opener, he had 10 rebounds, 15 points, 6 assists, 3 steals. Did he play a complete game? Yes.
Good all-around effort.
Here's Gaines. Outside to Fryer.
Simmons is a good man, good 6-man off the bench, can shoot it, good strong player.
That's Fryer. He can shoot from anywhere, and he buries a three-pointer. Fryer was the first recruit for Paul Westhead. Westhead guaranteed him 20 shots a game and told him he'd never play a lick of defense. And you know what? Fryer has lived up to his reputation.
We asked Paul Westhead what his shooting range was, 15, 20, 25 feet. He said, hell, anywhere once he gets over the mid-court stripe.
He says it's easier to get back on defense that way. You only have to walk back about 5 feet.
As long as he makes some of those.
16, Loyola. Marco Baldi from long range, and the big man shows us some touch. Gaines quickly to Simmons. He fires. Kept alive nicely by Armstrong. St. John's not boxing out, but luckily the long board came down to Shelton Jones.
So if Baldi can get some production inside, that'll bode very well for St. John's this year. You know Jones is going to give you some points at forward, and your backcourt's going to contribute from what we've seen. He'd be a big help if he can get some points going in the middle.
Matt Brust penetrating. Nice feed to Jones.
Very important to get Shelton into the game early. Good job by Bruss to find him.
St. John's by 2, 11:43 to go in this first half of play. And Loyola wants to talk it over. Luke Carnesecca says it's going to be like the Indianapolis Speedway. Basketball on Madison Square Garden Network Wednesday at 8. Fairleigh Dickinson University taking on the Redmen. FDU tough this year, led by Damari Riddick. And you can see all the action live at 8 p.m. this coming Wednesday.
Little ECAC Metro action. FDU picked right behind Marymount.
That's Sandy Diamond. He does the play-by-play typing sheet here at Alumni Hall. He has to note every single play, and he's got one of the toughest tasks today, keeping up with this game. He's going to be typing, his fingers are going to be sore.
But it has some nimble fingers to keep up with this pace.
Turnaround by Gathers, good. And the sophomore from Philadelphia, who was a standout at Dobbins Tech, is on the board. Watch out, showtime! Shelton Jones with 6 points. St. John's by 2.
One of the exposures of playing full court man-to-man pressure. You're going to occasionally give up the home run ball. Shelton Jones liked that one.
Mike Yost hands outside the Gaines. On the baseline, Gathers. Good block out by Shelton Jones. Here's Michael Porter in transition.
Not a good shot that time.
Traveling call and Boo Harvey. And Boo committed 5 turnovers in the opener yesterday against Harvard. He also had 6 assists. But he's going to make errors, especially in a high-tempo game.
But one thing you do look at as the season progresses, you do want a good ratio of assists to turnovers, at least 2 to 1, if not 3 to 1.
Fryer backing in. Gaines. Deep right corner jumper by Simmons. Rebounded by Porter. Carnesecca just yelled to his team, it's got to be there.
Yeah, that's right. If the break is there, take it, guys. If not, let me see you run something offensively, and let's get a couple of offensive rebounds inside.
Porter off the pick. There's Jones. That's where they want to get him the ball.
That's where the advantage is. Loyola going really with a 3-guard lineup right now with Enoch Simmons, the number 3 guard.
Jones rejects the shot. Fryer puts it back up and in.
Simmons is strong enough that you can call him a small forward, but at 6'4", he's really got 3 backcourt people out there for the Lions.
St. John's by 2. Here's Harvey racing to the front court.
Bruce kind of sneaky. He looks like he's lulling you to sleep, but we saw him accelerate and shift gears a couple of times yesterday with good bursts.
Baldy backs in. And St. John's taking advantage of their superior height.
Now, we talked about that, and you tend to be able to go inside when you work your half-court game a little bit more.
Gaines outside. Shot clock hasn't been inside 30 yet for Loyola. And finally now it's down to 30. And we have a reaching foul called on Brust. And we've got to really watch it. Sometimes he commits foolish fouls. He's a very aggressive player, but if he wants to foul, doesn't he want to bang somebody on the boards or something rather than reach?
I mean, to him, that was really a non-contact situation.
That's true.
I think it was worthy of a foul because he was climbing over the back. And you can't always pick your spots, but you're right. You don't want to pick up the real easy one.
So now Jason Williams comes in, and that means Shelton Jones will go to small forward with Brust out of the lineup. Jason Williams, 22 points in 23 minutes, plus 9 rebounds in his debut yesterday against Harvey. No one expected it.
Big lineup out there for St. John's, and Williams will be at the power forward spot.
Gathers, fall away. Got it. Nice move by Hank Gathers.
Well, Gathers and Armstrong, both with 6'6", 6'7", get up very well inside, despite the fact that they give up a couple of inches. Gathers, a USC transfer, along with Bo Kimball, both from the Philadelphia area. Bo Kimball out with that fractured patella. They say he might be the best one of them all.
Supposed to be the best player on the team.
Good backcourt kid.
St. John's leading by 2, 8:40 first half. Michael Porter.
Great spring in his legs, and he just seems to glide through the air. Beautiful rhythm.
Redmen by 4. Blocking foul call. Jason Williams, weak side of that defense. He nailed Mike Yost. St. John's with 5 team fouls. Loyola will inbound the ball. There's the brain trust. Rutledge, Carnesecca, and Mahoney. Trying to figure out a way to slow this team down, maybe.
Strategizing. Best way to do it is to play good defense and get good offense at your end. Try to slow down this Lion ball club, bringing it up court.
John Virgison is in the game, number 42 for Loyola. Foul called as Gaines made his move. Will go to the line for 2.
You can have all the great strategies in the world in basketball, but if you play good offense, get some points on the board, go back and play the aggressive D, it really becomes as simple as that at times.
Corey Gaines, who scored a career high of 18 points as a junior in 85-86 at UCLA, and then had 11 assists and 9 points in the Bruins season opener against Idaho in 84-85. So he was part of that UCLA NIT championship team, and then just didn't see a lot of playing time and transferred to Loyola Marymount. And I think the West Coast Athletic Conference gets a lot of transfers from the Pac-10, guys that just don't get a chance to play as much as they'd like.
We see 3 of them on this club, and I think with a guy like Paul Westhead at the helm, I think a player like Corey Gaines is really intrigued by an opportunity to play for him.
Baldy, 8 straight makes by St. John's as Marco looking good down low.
Marco looks trimmer this year. He's moving a little bit better without the ball, and he's got great position here. Makes a good pivot, spin move inside, and cashes in, and he's got a chance of the 3-point play.
Marco Baldi, recovering from the injury over the summer. Surgery on his left Achilles tendon. So he really got off to a slow start in camp, and this is the best I think he has looked, including practices.
Well, I think the best thing is that he's kept his weight in check, and he looks good out there.
St. John's looking to extend the lead to 9. 7:50 first half. Boo Harvey losing it. Here's Fryer.
Now, Boo is careless with the ball that time. Good ball hawking by the Lions. Now, that gets back to a fundamental of basketball, and that's to not pound it on the floor too much, particularly when you're surrounded by the opponent. Got to get rid of the ball and keep your head up.
Orlando Lewis, number 22 in the game for the Redmen. First shot for Williams, tipped in by Shelton Jones, who's taking advantage of inside position and his height out there.
24 inside points out of the 33 by St. John's, and they're doing it pretty well in the paint.
Simmons, knocked away by Orlando Lewis. And the players will refuel. Into the pitch they go. 33-26, St. John's, 7:07. The Garden on Madison Square Garden Network, second half of the home and home weekend series. Last night, the Islanders winning at 5-4. Tonight, the scene shifts from Nassau Coliseum to the Garden. We'll have all the action for you beginning with Rangers game night at 7 p.m. tonight on Madison Square Garden Network.
Paul Westhead had to talk to his players about doing a little bit more fronting perhaps down low. St. John's going down to Baldy and Jones, taking advantage inside.
7 points, St. John's lead. Armstrong dumps it inside. Good position for Gathers. Gathers runs it down.
Good hustle by the big guy, nabbing that one near midcourt.
Fryer connects. Fryer, a sophomore from Newport Beach, California. 33-28 Redmen.
Full court man-to-man pressure. You see Loyola do this for the whole ball game. They'll trap whenever they can. Simmons tries to come up behind Jones on that one.
Shelton Jones above the rim. Second tip by Jason Williams. And he has his first bucket of the ball game.
Second and third efforts, no boxing out by Loyola.
Good rebound, Shelton Jones.
Big John Ferguson is checked into the lineup. Good touch, but I think he was a little bit beyond his range on that one.
St. John's by 7. Jones inside, missing. There's Williams with the follow, and he is hammered. 2 shots for Jason Williams, who gives St. John's an added dimension in the front court.
Ferguson had an ankle injury, which has slowed him down somewhat. Nice move along the baseline by Jones. Beats everyone. Doesn't get it high enough off the glass, but good hustle in there by Jason Williams, and he's really hacked by Ferguson.
And he went right up without the dribble.
That's the way to do it. You put it down, you give people, backcourt people a chance to flick it away. 3 Lions in good position to rebound, but the quickness of Jason Williams that time, he went right for the ball and got it.
Williams sat out last year, Proposition 48. He has 3 years of eligibility remaining. He was an outstanding all-city selection. 23 points per game, 10 rebounds per game, and 85-86.
Now, great numbers. He's just getting himself back into game competition. He looks good doing it.
Long jumper, out of bounds. It will still be Loyola ball.
I think Paul Westhead would prefer to see Corey Gaines taking a couple of those shots. As you look at Louis, what does he say about a coaching box? He says, give me a little more room to move up and down that sideline.
Mike Yost, and a foul is called on Jason Williams. So Yost will be going to the line for 2 shots.
Jason Williams breaking into the St. John's lineup. Comes in and makes things happen. That time Yost kind of slithered around him and drew the foul.
Yost, co-captain, very experienced. Finds a way to score. He's clever. He's not really fancy.
You look at his numbers, better than 19 a game last year. He just finds a way to get it done.
That's nothing for this club, averaging 19.
That's right. Up and down, you're going to have your opportunities to score.
So he hits a couple of free throws. And it's a 37-30 lead for the Redmen of St. John's. Boo Harvey in the backcourt with Orlando Lewis, Marco Baldi, Shelton Jones, Jason Williams up front. Lewis looking to penetrate back to Harvey. He's the orchestrator.
Nice shot by Alander Lewis. St. John's didn't have the advantage, so he backed it out, and now St. John's will work their offense. They've been getting it down low very effectively to Shelton Jones and Marco Baldi. Jason Williams, too, down there.
Williams with the fall away. And Baldi gets the rebound.
Could have been a foul on Baldi. He was climbing over Ferguson on that one.
St. John's without Terry Brust for at least a couple of weeks. Sprained right ankle.
Gives St. John's even more depth down low where they need to get that production.
Here's Shelton Jones between two. Double pump. Foul called. Shelton will get rid of the goggles. They're fogged up. He'll get a new pair from trainer Ron LaFonte. Shelton, who had the detached retina and had operation over the summer, is back but wearing the goggles.
He looks quick, he looks comfortable, and he looks confident, and they're really looking for him to have a very consistent year. After all, it's his senior year. Says he's been playing a role up to this point, but he feels good, and he feels like he's really going to take charge.
Retina specialist Dr. Ronald Balkin had to do 2 different operations on Jones over the summer, but he is 100% healthy, and I think you can see.
He looks good, and I think those goggles take his mind off the fact that he had that operation. He just goes out and plays hard.
Jones hitting both free throws. So Shelton already with 12 points. St. John's 39-30. Ball away by Gaines. Good.
Gaines has to be involved in this Loyola offense, and he's been quiet for the last 8 or 10 minutes because he really hasn't seen the ball.
Here comes Harvey racing up court. And he loses it out of bounds. So Harvey's had his share of difficulties in this first half.
Out of control on that one. Just didn't really gather himself back out because the opportunity to penetrate really wasn't there.
Mark Armstrong, good feed inside and gathers Mississippi. Here's Shelton Jones. Long outlet for Jason Williams, and St. John's is getting very careless.
Louis beside himself on that long outlet pass.
3:55 first half, St. John's 39-32. Gathers to Armstrong.
You can see you puzzle the Lions when you get them into this half-court game. They don't like to set up and run a half-court offense.
Wide open is Fryer. Loose ball. Who wants it? The Lions want it. On the penetration gain. And it drops for him.
Good hustle on the loose ball. That gave Gaines the chance.
9 points for Corey Gaines.
St. John's is using a 1-4 setup. 4 people across against the full court man-to-man pressure. They should get a couple of home run passes of that long breakaway before this one's over.
Harvey. Down low, Jason Williams. Fall away. Off the mark. Armstrong clears. Gaines in transition.
That's a structured break. 3 people. You've got Gaines in the middle, 2 people filling lanes, and you had a trailer right behind Gaines. They work on that.
Gaines all the way, and it's tip up and in by Mike Yost. Nobody blocked him out. And suddenly the Lions are within 3, 39-36.
Is the long one I talked about.
Shelton Jones missing. And the rebound pulled down by Gathers. Back the other way we go. On the inside, Yost. And a foul called. And Yost will be going to the line for 2.
That's Jason Williams. That'll be number 3 on him. And it is.
And right now, St. John's has stopped playing well. Defensively, they have really broken down. And offensively, they're throwing so many balls away in the break.
They were under control, taking the break, as Louis was saying earlier, and setting up when they didn't have it. But again, it got really out of control, up and down. That's what Loyola lulls you into doing, because they tease you with that opportunity.
Yeah.
It looked like you get an easy breakaway, and it doesn't go. And then Loyola's back running the other way.
Yost with 12 points in the game. Steve Serena in the contest for the first time for St. John's.
Yost did a great job that time to get it down low. He's got taller people around him, and he just makes the good head and shoulder pump fake. Everyone leaves their feet, and he just draws the foul. That's experience for you.
Yost with 14, his career high is 37. And there's a timeout on the court as Loyola has come back, and they are within one.
We were practicing and taking a scrimmage, and I took a jump shot and landed on Sean Muter's ankle, our foot, and my ankle rolled over, and here it is.
What flashed through your mind?
I was just praying to God it wasn't broken. You know, I felt something pop, but, you know, it turns out it's okay. It's just a slight, you know, just a sprain, so I'll be fine.
Terry Bruss is expected to be out of action at least 2 weeks. St. John's really wants him back because he and Marco Baldi, the key in the pivot.
One of the poor feelings playing basketball when you come down on someone's foot and it just rolls over on you. All your weight is coming down on you. All you can do is ice that ankle up, get back into action.
St. John's is ice cold. Loyola has scored 8 consecutive points. St. John's winning the battle on the board so far today.
But in this last spurt by Loyola, you haven't seen St. John's with the second and third efforts because it hasn't been out of the half-court game.
Gathers, pulls up, and a foul is called. And I believe they caught Harvey outside. It's either Harvey or Baldi. Foul is on Boo Harvey. That's his first personal. At the line, USC transfer Hank Gathers.
The thing that makes Loyola dangerous is the way they do play is they can make up deficits rather quickly. They were down in this one as Gathers, he caught anything on that when he might have caught the net. The crowd gets on him a little bit. Loyola keeps pressing, keeps coming at you, so if they get down by 10 points, they can make that kind of a lead up pretty quickly. On the other hand, they can also let a lead go down on them pretty fast.
Well, he comes back with a strong second free throw. Gathers said he was really jittery before his first game the other day after transferring and not playing for 2 years, but he had 22 points in 29 minutes in the opener, so that's not too jittery, is it?
That's great numbers for the first time out. Maybe you should say jittery more often.
Tied at 39, a minute 20 to go in this first half of play at Alumni Hall. I'm Bruce Beck, along with Ron Perry, bringing you the action on Madison Square Garden Network. Steve Serena dumping it for Jones, knocked away by Gathers. Gathers all the way, and a foul is called on Boo Harvey for the reach. And Loyola has taken over.
Versatility right there by Gathers. Thought he should kick it off to Corey Gaines, but he stayed with the ball, handles it very well for a forward. They're too close to each other right now. He might have been able to slip a bounce pass when he was at the foul line. Once he saw the opening, though, he left from the foul line. Did a nice job to draw the foul.
2 shots for Hank Gathers.
Found the range.
6 points for Hank.
You need to keep distance between the point man and the man filling the lane. That time, too close. Gathers probably made the right decision to hold on.
He was just 4 for 13 from the line against Tennessee Tech. Lewis with the rebound. Lewis, Harvey, Serena on the floor. Very small St. John's team with Baldi and Jones up front.
Serena's got to look for his jump shot if Yost backs off him that way.
Harvey penetrates, dishes to Lewis for 3. He hits it. That is the first basket in over 5 minutes for St. John's. Here's Gaines penetrating. Good dish off, rejected by Jones.
What a recovery by Shelton Jones as he went after Corey Gaines. Then he reacted and made the nice block to set up the St. John's offense.
Olander Lewis with 20 seconds left in the first half. St. John's leading by 2. Jones, 15 seconds to go in the half. Shot clock is off.
Jones can feel it. If they can get it to him, I think he wants to take this shot before the half is out.
7 seconds. Baldi is free. Beautiful feed from Jones.
Great look.
Here's Gaines, 1 second. Good if it goes. It's short. And so the first half is complete. Wild end-to-end action. St. John's in command by 9. Loyola came back to tie it. St. John's has a 4-point lead as Westhead pleads his case prior to heading to the locker room. Halftime at Alumni Hall. Finals of the Lap-Stick tournament.
Exciting first half of play, just as we talked about it at the beginning.
St. John's 44, Loyola 40.
By Mike Yost for the easy bucket.
Now, offensively, Loyola looks to do everything around the three-point line, don't they?
Look at this. They're all behind the lane. Gaines over there to number 5. That's Armstrong. He kicks it over to Fryer. They're all behind the three-point line. If they can get it, they'll take it. But good D, as you see Porter in Fryer's face. One of the rare times that Loyola swung the ball or had it for this long as Yost makes the good pivot move and pump fake in low. Follows in with the basket. He's had a good first half.
I think a key word here in the second half for St. John's is discipline. They have to know when to run and when to slow down.
That's right. When they did that and did it effectively in the first half, they were able to build a little bit of a lead. That's poise, that's experience. If they can do it and get it to Shelton Jones, he's got a very good shot of pulling away in this one.
It's an old-fashioned shootout here at St. John's. These clubs, high-powered, and Loyola wants to get you into a race course game.
And it's hard not to. It's so tempting. It's like having that maybe second piece of pie for dessert. You see it sitting there. They keep tempting you because they take the quick shot. They try to rush you defensively by putting the press on. So it's, it's the kind of thing that you just have to have some patience. If it's there, take it. If not, settle down. But it's very tempting.
It's very tempting. And if you're a ball player and you see that open style of play the way Boo Harvey did, you want to get caught up in it. And hence there were a lot of turnovers for Boo.
That's right. You see the opening, you want to go with it. I think as the year progresses, Boo is going to know when to say, gee, we don't have the advantage. Let's back it out. Let's set it up, because personnel-wise, St. John's has some advantages in this game, particularly down low. That comes with experience.
Fast game at Alumni Hall. We'll go to this commercial. We'll come back to Alumni Hall. More action in a moment. And so you never know who will walk into Alumni Hall. Mark Jackson here today. Jamal Wilkes, who will be here tomorrow. Here's the field goal percentage shooting numbers. St. John's 49%, Loyola at 38. Loyola perfect from the stripe. St. John's 8 for 12, and on the boards, the Redmen winning that battle, but they did it very early. They didn't control the boards in the last 10 minutes the way they did in the first 10 minutes, and it was reflected in the scoring. St. John's with 8 turnovers, Harvey with a bunch, and Loyola with only 2, playing that fast tempo style of play. That's amazing.
It's a hard statistic to really believe, Bruce, but look for St. John's to try to limit those turnovers in the second half.
Individual scoring leaders, Yost with 14 and Shelton Jones with 12.
Yost works very hard inside. He finds a way to score. Shelton looks very fluid and quick, and if they can get it to him in good spots to score, he could have himself a very big game.
So we have 20 minutes left, and that is a lot of time with the style of ball we're seeing today. St. John's 44-40. Second half of play. Boo Harvey and Michael Porter in the backcourt. Porter didn't play much, although he only had 1 foul. Shelton Jones in the baseline. Air ball. Brust there to follow, and he gets the roll.
Bruss seems to be the kind of guy that comes out quickly at the beginning of the game, at the beginning of the second half, because he's always ready to play very intensely.
Boo Harvey comes up with a loose ball. He goes all the way, lays it up and in.
Beginning of the first half and second half is so crucial. St. John's out with that quick jump here in the second half.
So St. John's has come out with a little bit of fire here in the early part of the second half of play. Loose rebound picked up by Porter. St. John's looking to open up the lead to 10.
Good job by Porter to settle things down. Give St. John's a chance to set up. Lions had 4 people back defensively that time.
Michael Porter to Matt Brust. Jones. Brust for 3. And Marco Baldi got caught over the top. Foul called on Marco.
It's tough to hide a foul sometimes when you're 6'11" and the biggest player on the floor, but that time Marco really climbing over the back.
That is the first personal on Marco Baldi. Jason Williams with 3 fouls, and Vergeson off the bench for Loyola with 3 fouls, and that's about it in terms of foul difficulty. Pretty move by Hank Gathers.
He looked like he was ready to go off the launch pad that time, the way he sprung up with the jumper.
Baldi Got to be unnerving for a coach to see Marco handling the ball. Now Shelton Jones loses concentration on the sideline and loses out of bounds.
Two comments on that one. Louis frustrated.
He doesn't want to watch the game. Now he's going to come back and watch it for a while.
But Marco doing a good job helping out against the pressure. Shelton just catch the ball and look instead of just catching it and pounding it. Limit the turnovers.
Gathers backs in. Jones with the rebound. He had 8 in the first half. So there's number 9 for Shelton. In the opening game, he had 8.
Hey, Michael, gee, you keep getting in there for the rebound. Somehow Porter up there with the big boys.
Going to really have to talk to Jones and the other big players because he doesn't want to be doing, and there's another turnover, he doesn't want to be taking rebounds away from them the way he did in the first half when the ball ends up in the first row.
It's tough, but I think all you can do is go up there and go after the ball because that's all he's doing right now. He just seems to get in good position.
Maybe just talking.
That's all. Just communicate with each other, but you can't tell a kid not to go after it.
Right.
Because he seems to have a knack for finding a way to get in there.
Corey Gaines penetrates and fires. Rebound to Matt Brust. St. John's very tough at Alumni Hall. They had a 30-game winning streak snapped last year by Providence in February of '87. The last time they had lost before that was February of '84. So they don't lose here often. And an offensive foul is charged to Michael Porter.
One of the reasons for that, Bruce, is he's got a very tight, compact Alumni Hall. The fans are close to the action. It's a good place, really, to set up your press and get people into the action.
Timeout on the court. St. John's 48-42 with 17-18 to go. And the new man, Derek McKee. Should be a good ball game. Knicks playing well. Out of bounds to Loyola.
The break for the Lions right there. Nothing but air that time on the jumper as you get a look at Mark Jackson, who's starting to really dazzle people in the NBA. Double figure scoring and in assists. What a great year he had last year for Louis.
Jones on the rebound, fighting Brust. Off the Yost miss.
Jones taking charge off the glass.
10 boards for Jones. St. John's leading by 6. Pace has slowed considerably from the early going when we looked like we were going to see 100 for each club.
Really has. Both teams still playing man-to-man defense. But when the Lions don't score offensively, they can't set up that press of theirs.
Harvey looking for Jones. Jones working without the ball well. Harvey thinking about the three-pointer, taking the two-pointer. Jones with the rebound. He puts it up and in. And a foul is called. And you're looking at a maturing Shelton Jones.
He's getting all of his activity out of the flow of the game. He's getting it off of the rebounding action, and this time he's on the weak side. Sets himself up, goes up over Matt Brust, gets the shot. Kind of a touch foul there by Corey Gaines, but he did catch him on the shooting arm. Tim Higgins right there to call it.
He has complained to officials a lot over the last 3 years, and he just doesn't seem like he's going to be doing that much more. He's got a different look on his face. He's more tuned into playing and less tuned into complaining.
Better off that way.
A technical foul is called by Pete Pavia.
Matty Brust caught the ball when it went through the basket. Louis looking for an explanation. Right now, the officials don't talk to the coaches anymore. It's the team captain, so Shelton Jones is looking for an explanation.
He called a delay of game because Shelton Jones slacked the ball after it went through the net. Here's a two-shot technical.
And the ball for Loyola.
Yost shooting the tee, missing the first.
Brust slammed it after it went through the rim.
Brust that did it, okay. So Yost makes 1 of 2. And Brust charged with the technical. He's not too thrilled about it. Making faces at Pete Pavia. In any event, 51-43, Loyola with the ball. Ball away jumper is good by Gathers. He's got a nice ball away.
And this is where the offense is so important for the Lions. They then set their press up after they are able to score.
16 minutes to go in the game. 6 points, St. John's lead. Michael Porter back outside to Boo Harvey.
Johnny's doing a good job right now of controlling the tempo of this game. They're being very patient.
Baldy spinning, Brust there for the rebound, and he gets it in the foul. And Brust has a knack of hanging around the basket, being on the right side when the ball falls off.
Well, that comes with experience. You have to know after a while that most shots, when they do miss, go to the opposite side, and Brust just lingers over there. You can see the box out inside by Mark Armstrong, but no one picks up Brust. And out of your half-court offense, more people have a chance to position themselves for the rebound. That's what Brust did on that one.
Brust with 11 points.
Happy about it, too.
He wasn't happy about the tee, but he used his energy and harnessed it properly.
That's right. He got something productive out of it. Corey Gaines has been quiet. Needs to get more involved in the offense.
Gathers losing the ball. Finally run down by Yost. Three-pointer Gaines. Brust. And he went way up for that one.
Major rebound. Strong kid.
Yeah, I'd say
He's
so.
like running into a wall out there.
That might be the understatement of the day.
Solid from head to toe.
Porter. Baldy. Brust. Blue Harvey. He hits.
Nice touch. Good
Good
penetration.
ball
The opening was there. Harvey was positioned to dump it back.
St. John's by 11 suddenly. Gaines for three. Rebound. Gathers. He hits it. Plenty of pushing and shoving on the inside.
I feel like Gathers got bumped when he went up for that shot.
Michael Porter. And a foul is called, and Michael Porter will go to the line for two. St. John's and Loyola Marymount have never played against each other. Michael Porter going to the line from Alexandria, Virginia. Played at San Jacinto Junior College, Save Junior College of Walter Berry.
You look at the Lions, the way they set up against the... But really, if they do press St. John's, they've got two people fully down court so they can break right off of this free throw. It's a sideline fast break. Simmons will look in the corner for Gaines. If he doesn't have them, he got Gathers in the other corner.
Shelton Jones gathers the rebound. St. John's with a 9-point lead. Jones with 12 boards at the 14-20 mark.
St. John's doing a good job off the boards. As a result, they're controlling this tempo and working their half-court game much more in this second half.
Lou Harvey penetrating and hitting.
Playing much more under control in the second half, taking what the defense gives them.
Gaines fires and he hits.
He needs to get hot.
2-point field goal, 58-49 St. John's. Westhead complaining, saying it was a three-pointer. Pushing and shoving on the floor between some of the players. Now St. John's will inbound.
Good job, preventive refereeing to go over and talk to the players, tell them to cool things off.
Marco Baldi handing back to Boo Harvey. Gaines almost took it away.
Nice recovery by Porter, though.
Here's Boo Harvey. They're going to give Boo that jumper. He's got to prove he can hit it. Brust. Nice move with the left hand.
I mean, you have to like the way Bruss plays. He's a crowd pleaser. He plays with so much intensity. Crowd loves it. Got another technical for delay of game. St. John's has to leave that ball alone when it goes through the basket.
Now let's watch what happens.
Matt Bruss with that nice lefty hook, and you can see
Jones
taps it out of bounds, gives you a chance to set up your defense. Referee's right on it. Good call.
And once again, Mike Yost has trouble making the first tee. And he hits the second. So that cuts the lead to 60 to 50. Gaines leaves. And in the ball game, Michael Armstrong. 14.6 rebounds for Matt Brust. Ball away by Gathers off the mark. Marco Baldi is there for the rebound. Here comes Michael Porter. St. John's looking to Boo Harvey to run the show. The young man who grew up in New York City, played at Andrew Jackson High School, then went to San Jac. Now back in New York. Rush, pretty feed inside to Jones. And he stepped on the baseline. John Bergeson is back in for Loyola Marymount, and he replaces Hank Gathers. St. John's has been criticized for playing a marshmallow schedule in the Joe Lapchick tournament over the years. You got to go back to 1979, the last time they really played a power, Michigan State. But this is a decent test for them.
Oh, there's no question about that. They're being put to the test against a good Loyola team.
I mean, let's not kid ourselves. It's not a great team, but it's a team that has a lot of offense, a lot of firepower. Now, when you're playing a schedule such as UCLA away, Kansas away, DePaul home, plus the Big East, I don't think you want to begin the season with Kentucky and Florida.
I think it's a team that if you're caught napping the way they play, they could catch you.
Right, 12 minutes to go, 60 to 52, St. John's by 8. Boo Harvey is free. He hits it. He's going to get that shot, and if he proves he can hit it, defenses are going to have to push him back.
Oh, they're going to have to, and that'll make his passing game that much more effective. Right now, Loyola really sloughing off of Boo.
Good pass inside to Yost, and a foul is called on Baldi.
Baldi with the weak side help that time. Had he been a step quicker, he could have just come over, positioned himself with his hands up. Yost with good position inside, though.
Second foul on Baldi.
Shelton really commits himself and gets beat by Yost. Baldi slow coming over, picks up the personal.
Mike Yost with 16 points to lead Loyola. Last year, he tied Pepperdine's Eric White for the overall season scoring title in the West Coast Athletic Conference. Timeout taken by Loyola. 62-54, St. John's, final of the Lapchick tournament. You can see it every time they work the ball on offense.
Well, it was a nice package deal. They played together last year at San Jacinto. That time, Porter setting up Harvey. I think we'll see a lot going the other way as the season progresses.
I agree. St. John's leading by 8. Game's hit a little bit of a lull right now.
It has. I mean, I think it's time with 11:39 for Loyola to make some kind of a run at St. John's, try to get this thing tighter. But St. John's has, I think, intentionally tried to lull it a little bit to get into their half-court game.
And here's a trap employed by Loyola. Michael Porter fires and hits.
2-3 trapping defense. First time we've seen that. It's been all man-to-man by both teams in this game. Good ball movement by St. John's.
7 points for Porter. Off the pick, Fryer fires. Rebound, Jones, foul call. Jones is getting in terrific position.
Oh, he's dominating the boards. He's quicker than anyone out there, and he's got the long arms. That was an out-of-control shot, really, by Jeff Fryer that time. I think Paul Westhead would much prefer to see Corey Gaines getting a couple of those jump shots. Look for Baldi on the entry pass. Loyola's been doing a good job denying.
St. John's by 10. St. John's picked to finish 4th in the Big East Conference coaches call. And a foul is called on Baldi. He gets called for a number of invisible blocking fouls.
He's banging down low with John Ferguson, who's been banging ever since he came in. He's got the left arm.
Oh,
Overdoes it right there. That was a good call.
he really leveled him with the elbow.
That one was a little bit too visible. Nice pass.
Ooh, it goes around and in for Gathers. 14 for Gathers. And an 8-point lead for St. John's.
I think we'll see Loyola go to that full court press where they go all out with it and trap in the corners. Right now, they're just doing it man-to-man, not trapping as much. St. John's doing a good job of clearing once they get it to the point guard, Boo Harvey.
Harvey. Thought about it, back out to Brust. Nice feed to Jones, and he misses the jam a little bit too much. Extra showtime, maybe.
Oh, went for the major league stuff. Hung on the rim a little bit, too. That could have been a technical.
Gaines off balance, and he is hammered by Baldy. And Marco getting himself in foul trouble. That is number 4.
Gaines is getting up very slowly, actually staying on the ground. Seems that he got hit on the head on that. Might have got it in the eye.
So without Terry Brust, St. John's has no experience in the pivot. They're going to go to Jason Williams, who's 6'9", first-year sophomore.
Had that long
big
year to
point of
think
the game.
about it. Oh,
Yeah.
it sure is. He's come through so far. That's a crazy foul, really, by Marco. To, you know, you say never foul a jump shooter. Did a good job to change the shot, but then to bowl him over like that. I think his job had already been done by coming out and getting his hand in his face.
2 shots for Gaines. 12 points for Corey Gaines. He had 25 in the opener, plus 13 assists, which set a tournament record.
He's been defended well in this game, predominantly by Michael Porter.
The lead is down to 6.
Yeah, the intensity on defense isn't there right now for Loyola, and credit St. John's the way they're handling the pressure, really with a lot of poise running their offense.
Through the hands of Jason
Nice
Williams,
steal.
picked up by Gaines. 4-point ball game, and there's the run that you were talking about. Timeout, St. John's. So Loyola, in a very short time, has cut the lead to 64-60. Lots of time to play. Almost 10 minutes left in the ball game. We'll be back. So 6 in a row for Paul Westhead's club. And they are right in it. Porter gets it to Harvey. St. John's going with Porter and Harvey in the backcourt. Brust, Jason Williams, and Shelton Jones up front. Loyola going with Gaines and Fryer in the backcourt. Up front, Armstrong. Hank Gathers. And Yost. And a whistle inside and a loose ball call again. And it's on the Redmen. And if that's Jason Williams, that's number 4 on him. So you may see Sean Muto, who is the freshman, 6'11" from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania.
Perhaps Muto or maybe Louis will, elect to go with a 3-guard offense and just leave Shelton Jones and Matt Brust out there.
Turnaround jumper by Yost, rebounded by Jones, who continues to clear the glass. 14 boards. Porter, foul called. A reach on Mike Yost. St. John's has committed 16 fouls. And Loyola Marymount has committed 5. St. John's ball side court, Yost with 3.
Loyola doing a good job right now of doubling up on Shelton Jones down low. He's the man to really go to. Matt Brust sneaks around and gets the rebounds, but Jones is the guy right now St. John's wants to get it to.
Porter, rebounded by Gathers. Here comes Loyola. Gaines quickly to Fryer for 3. Rebound Porter.
That would have been a big one. Nice job by Corey Gaines. Getting it out there to Jeff Fryer in good position to score. They run down and set up behind the 3-point line on the fast break.
Harvey looking inside. Now he takes it himself. Pretty move. 14 for Boo Harvey.
10 of them in the second half, and he's played much more under control in the second half.
Corey Gaines dumps it off underneath. This is Gathers. Nice move.
Excellent move. He got Shelton up off his feet. As Shelton came down, he went up.
16 points for Gathers. He's talking to Shelton Jones as he's putting up the shots. 66-62, St. John's. Foul call. That's a reach. It's on Yost. So that's the second time in about a minute he got called for the same type of foul.
He's trying to anticipate for the steal. He's a step off the pace, and as a result, he's picked up the personal.
4 fouls on Yost. And Enoch Simmons coming into the game, replacing Yost.
Paul Westhead will just sit Yost for probably a minute to 2 minutes and then get him back in the game just to catch his breath.
Brust to Harvey. Quarter is 3. See, Harvey's showing some good control here in the second half. Some good leadership.
Coaches call that poise. He's just backing things out. Much more under control.
Here's Jones. Harvey threw it away. Jones looked the other way. And a foul is called, and that's a frustration foul.
Now that was a lack of concentration. You know, a little two-man basketball on the right side of the court. But, you know, Harvey went to the well one too many times. He got it to Shelton, doubled up. Now you either need to swing it or take your jumper, and as he penetrates to the left, Shelton goes up thinking he's going to shoot it.
No, but Shelton rolled the wrong way. Aren't you always supposed to roll with the open up to the ball? He should have rolled the other to the inside.
Perhaps. I think he just thought it was killed between the two of them on the right side of the court. He think he was just going to get himself in a position thinking Boo was going to shoot the ball.
They say open to the ball.
Don't lose sight of it, or you could catch it off the back of your head.
Corey Gaines 1 for 2. Loose ball. Jones has the rebound. It's a 3-point game. St. John's was up 64-54, and they've been outscored 9-2. Quarter to Bruss. Jones has it on the baseline. Oh, he wanted that bucket.
Now that's a sign of maturity. Big bucket time for St. John's, and he wanted it and got it.
7:05 to play, second half. St. John's 68, Loyola Marymount 63. In the finals of the Lapchick tournament, offensive foul on Hank Gathers.
Well, you can see that one brewing. Gathers has been pretty emotional the last few minutes. Shelton Jones, the last time down court, excellent spin move. Leaves players in his tracks as he goes up for the score.
Loyola Marymount and St. John's both over the limit now. And they will shoot 1 and 1.
As always, free throws very important, and you need to make these one-on-ones to pull it out.
Turnovers in this game, 15 St. John's, only 4 Loyola. Shelton Jones, 18 points, 15 rebounds. (70-63) Redmen.
One thing to create the turnover, but you need to turn that into points on the offensive end. Loyola are a bit cold right now offensively.
Tough shot taken by Armstrong. Jones again with the board.
It's like a man in there with boys.
He really is.
Rebounds.
He's got 3 years of Big East experience under his belt. Brust threw it away.
Well, there are a lot of ways to take charge of a game. It's easy to see when a point guard really controls things the way a Mark Jackson did last year. But if you start grabbing 15, 16, 17 rebounds, you're taking charge of the game that way and then dictating the tempo from a defensive standpoint.
Yost is back in for Loyola.
Set down for about a minute and a half.
Armstrong. Loyola hasn't got in any easy fast break baskets the way they did in the first half. Whole tempo of the game was changed by St. John's. Nice move by Gathers. And the sophomore with 18 points. Six minutes to play. Harvey off to Brust. Jason Williams in traffic, basket counts and a foul. Strong move.
Nice swing by St. John's. They go from right to left with it. 3 passes, and then they get a nice clear look inside to Jason Williams, who goes up in traffic. Body contact before the shot. Good strong move.
Six points for Jason Williams, coming off that 22.9 rebound effort in his opening game. He doesn't look nervous.
Not at all. He's got a good touch from the charity stripe.
St. John's by 8 points. Shelton Jones with the defensive play, the steal.
Porter is doing a very good job on Corey Gaines. He's the big play guy out there for Loyola, and Porter's not giving him the opening for the long jumper.
Shelton Jones tries. Had nothing. Brust saved him.
Luckily, Bruss did save him.
Out of bounds to St. John's.
A lot of time left in the game. You want to be patient offensively, but I don't think you want to try to, just put her on ice at this standpoint, because again, you can lose your momentum.
I think we'll see St. John's really push it up-tempo against some teams, but I think today they're showing us that they can play more of a patient game. Nice feed to Brust from Shelton Jones.
I think that's smart. And I think they're going to be the kind of team that takes it when it's there.
That's goaltending. Jones's hand was inside the cylinder.
Yeah, the rule for goaltending is it's on its downward flight with a chance to go. That shot clearly covered both of those categories.
Anyway, last year Louis was criticized for playing too deliberate, but with the team he had, he felt that was the way he had to play.
Well, he didn't have a lot of depth.
He's going to run more, but in a game like this, as you say, you got to be able to be flexible.
That's right. That's playing into the hands of Loyola today, so I think it's smart to go both ways with it.
Shelton Jones burying the J. 21 for Shelton.
He's been the man.
St. John's by 10. Oh, tough move by Gaines. And he puts the ball on Brust's stomach. And Matt Brust isn't too pleased about that.
I wouldn't do that with Matt Brust. I'm not sure that's such a smart idea.
Well, I don't blame you.
Whenever someone was bigger than me, I tended not to want to do that sort of thing. Corey Gaines, though, with a good offensive move, should have just left it at that.
Well, if you knock it away, you get a technical. If you put it on the stomach, you get beat up.
That's right.
St. John's ball with 4:24 to play. It's been a long game. 77-69 Redmen. After this, St. John's plays Wednesday against Fairleigh Dickinson, and we'll have all the coverage for you on MSG Network. Foul called. Jason Williams over the top. That's 5. So Jason Williams is fouled out. Marco Baldi comes back in with 4 fouls. After Fairleigh Dickinson, St. John's plays Kansas away on Saturday, December 5th. Then Fordham away on Wednesday, December 9th. And then UCLA away on Saturday, December 12th. Redmen also in the Holiday Festival against Kansas, Memphis State, and Marist. So they're going to play a lot of intersectional games this year.
Yeah, there's some tough non-league games in addition to the Big East schedule. Yeah, you get the Paul, Big East. It's going to be some tough ball games down the road. This is a good early test, too.
Redmen by 8. Jones. He hits it, and a foul.
Brust hung on the rim. I think they got him.
And they might call offensive goaltending also. Let's see what happens here.
Let's see if they count the basket or if Brust interfered with the ball. I think he might have while it was in the cylinder.
Now, not only might he get a technical here, but the basket might not count. He didn't need to go after this ball because it's sitting up there. Let's watch.
Gonna roll in. Gonna roll in, and there's Matt grabbing the rim while it's in the cylinder.
And Shelton is mad at Matt rather than being mad at the official here. He was running back saying, oh, come on, Matt. The 2 points are on the board. We haven't seen those points taken down.
It's like a good basket, Bruce, and they're letting him shoot the foul. They're probably going to see a technical foul shot at the other end.
So the basket counts. Jones going for the three-point play. He does not get it. Now we'll shoot a technical at the other end of the court, and then Loyola would get possession, correct?
Right, because the foul was committed before the shot got up there. So already you're in process for a three-point play. Brust grabs the rim, and here's your tee. It'll be Loyola ball.
Yost making the free throw, and Loyola will get the ball at side court. St. John's is lucky that the 2 points were in a race.
That's right.
3:50 to go.
Now look for Loyola to go to the three-point shot, set their press up, maybe even send St. John's to the foul line a little bit before this one's over.
Mike Yost down low. Loyola trailing by 9. 3:35 to play. Yost with the fall away, gets the soft roll. He has 21. And the Lions stayed close.
That's right. The three wasn't there, so they got it to Yost. And there's a turnover by St. John's. Shelton turned on that one before he had good control of the ball.
Baldy playing with 4 fouls. Jason Williams has already fouled out in the pivot. Ross can't play because of an ankle injury, so Baldy is very important, very crucial that he doesn't get his 5th personal. Gaines into Gathers. He turns. Rebound, pulled down and put up and in by Armstrong. And it's a 5-point ball game, 79-74.
Well, Paul Westhead had a message to get it down low. Loyola really looking to dump it down there.
Foul on Fryer in the backcourt. 1-on-1 for Boo Harvey. So Boo will be going to the free throw line. Harvey in the game, 14 points. Clutch free throw by Harvey.
Now they're important throughout the game, but especially as you get down near 2-3 minutes left in the game, you're in a close and you've got to make those one-on-ones.
St. John's lead is 7. See if Loyola starts thinking about the three-pointer. Armstrong to Gaines. There's Fryer. He's the guy who can put it up from deep. Foul call down low. They went inside to Gathers. The guards were shooting outside the three-point line. Their offense run much the way Providence's offense was run last year. Always looking for the three-pointer.
Like to go for it. I'm surprised in this game they haven't taken more threes. Fryer's put up a couple, but Corey Gaines has really been closely guarded all game long by Michael Porter.
Gathers for 2. 19 for Gathers. So he has lived up to his billing. You take 4 junior college players, 4 rather college players that transfer, and you can understand why a team like Loyola could jump from 12 and 16 to 18 or 19 wins in 1 year.
That's right. I mean, and that and what St. John's has done with some junior college transfers, you can get guys in and, as you call it, Bruce, get a quick fix right away.
St. John's as late as 5 with 2:40 to play. A nail biter at Alumni Hall. Corey Gaines call for the reach.
Like Boo had a string on the ball that time. Kind of teasing Corey Gaines with it and then going between the legs.
He got the nickname when his grandmother took a first look at Boo and saw those giant eyes. And from then on, he was known as Boo. Here it is for a little trivia. Timeout on the floor with 2:38 to play. And there's still plenty of time for Loyola Marymount. St. John's holding to a 5-point Bulge. Numbers today.
Job well done, men.
Well, let's see if Loyola starts thinking 3-point field goal. They certainly have the guns to do it. They have Fryer, Gaines, and Yost, who are all capable of burying it from long range.
I mean, there's still enough time that they can go down low and try to get the twos and play good defense. They seem to have a real interest to go after the three. That's their style of play, so I wouldn't be surprised at all to see Jeff Fryer put a couple up.
Harvey's hit 3 free throws in a row.
Big ones.
82-76 St. John's. Good second half for Harvey. 7-point lead.
Loyola backed off of him. He took what they gave him, and he was able to hit the open shot.
Gaines to Armstrong. Gathers. Ball away. Tough shot.
Very tough.
22 for Gathers.
He just jumps over people to get his shot off.
St. John's is looking to boo Harvey. 2:10 to play.
St. John's going to take some air out, work the 45-second shot clock, unless something very good presents itself, like that one.
Jones using the glass. And Shelton remaining on fire with 25 points now. They're going to Gathers every chance they get, and he is fouled. And it's on Brust, who taps Timmy Higgins and says, good call, Timmy.
Right, you got me on that one, Tim. I was right there.
He's like a running commentary on the floor.
He really is. Good timing by Shelton that time, too. He kept his feet. He didn't go for the pump fake and blocked that one. To no avail, though, since Bruss fouled. Paul Westhead wondering if there's enough time left in this one.
Why are they going to Gathers on the inside instead of just trying to fire with the guards from long range and going for 3?
I think it's good D by St. John's on the perimeter. And Loyola's really going with what they can right now, which is the opening inside. Gaines just doesn't seem to be free to take it.
This one hasn't been a picnic for Luke Carnesecca. Gathers with 8 rebounds plus those points in the game. And the lead is 85-80 with 1:54 to play. So St. John's can't shake Loyola. Harvey dishes to Porter. The ball shall remain in Harvey's hand as much as possible. Jones. A wild move and an offensive foul, no basket. So Loyola can cut the lead down.
Shelton, I think, had a notion to jam this one. He makes the one-on-one move, help out defense there. I'm not so sure in that replay. Mark Armstrong didn't slide underneath after Shelton had left to go up for that shot. That very easily could have been a block.
1:30 to play.
Nevertheless, Shelton really shouldn't have gone in for their shot at that point unless he had a wide open lane for the basket.
Armstrong, it's an 85-82 ball game with 1:18 to play. Baldy back to Harvey.
Loyola has to start thinking about who they want to send to the line. Marco Baldi's probably the choice of the players out there right now if he touches it to reach in on him.
53 seconds left, 25 on the shot clock, 28-second differential. Michael Porter in the paint. In and out, and the rebound pulled down by Gathers. Here's Gaines. He penetrates. Wide open is Fryer. 1-point ball game. 85-84, 35 seconds left. St. John's looking for leadership. Harvey with the ball. Shot clock is off. 25 seconds to go.
St. John's ought to spread it out, look for the good opening, take the layup if it's there. Loyola, on the other hand, has to reach in.
And a foul call with 15 seconds, and Michael Porter will go to the free throw line. A very good shooter.
Great comeback by Loyola in this game. They kept pecking away, pecking away. They've converted well down the stretch.
Luke Carnesecca. pacing frantically.
Even if he makes both, Loyola has a chance to send this into overtime with a three-point shot.
And Loyola's going to ice him a little bit. St. John's was up by 7, 85-78. Loyola has come back and scored 6 straight points. They trail by 1 with 15 seconds to play.
I think coming back, getting it down low, and I think Paul Westhead might go with the percentages and rather try to win it in overtime if he can tie it up.
Just play the game, right?
Yeah,
at that point.
Take what's open.
All right, let's see what develops. Michael Porter in the game. 7 points, 7 rebounds.
He hasn't shot the ball for a while either. He's an excellent shooter, but not a bad guy to foul because he hasn't taken a shot for a while. And now you ice him a little bit with the timeout, so we'll see how Michael responds.
3 for 3 from the line in the game. He hits the first calmly.
Very nice form. That's why, as a free throw shooter, you want to develop a routine from the foul line so that no matter when you're taking that shot, you just go back to your mechanics. It looks very fluid on the first one.
Short. Rebound Loyola. And the ball is taken away by Porter, who lays it in. What a play by Porter.
That was it right there. Another
Brust takes it away. Wait, a technical foul called on Brust.
Reached over the line, Bruce.
88-84 is the score. Now Loyola will get the technical shot.
2 shots, Bruce.
2 shots, and they'll get the ball. So it's conceivable that they could even have a chance to win the game with a three-pointer here.
Going to send Yost to the line. He's been making one of the 2, but if he makes them both, or even if he makes one with the ball, you've got a chance to tie this thing up. Great steal by Porter. He misses the second free throw, comes in with a beautiful runner along the baseline, gets up over the rim, drops it in, and then Matt Brust reaching over the line, picking up that technical foul.
All right, now Yost has shot 4 technical free throws today. He's made only 2.
But he has made his last couple of free throws as Paul Westhead looks on.
Now Loyola is going to get the ball underneath their own basket after this. That's the way the game has been played thus far after the tee was called underneath the basket.
6 seconds is plenty of time to bring the ball up court, really dribble it up, try to get the ball in the hands of Corey Gaines and either let him shoot it or dish it over to Pryor for the long-range shot. But we need to see first what Yost does with these free throws. Louis wants a timeout. Let Yost think about it a little bit more.
So Yost, who is 10 for 12 from the line, will go to the line. And really the worst thing that Matt Brust could have done was what he did.
It really was, because it's over at that point, Bruce. You got a 4-point bulge, under 10 seconds to go. The best Loyola could have done was come down and hit a 3. By then, most of the clock would have been used up.
So Porter, who missed the second free throw, but got the ball back off a steal and went to the hoop and laid it in, had sealed it looked like. And then Brust reaching over, being called for the technical. And now we have a situation where Loyola can conceivably get a shot to win the game.
The only way they don't is if Yost comes out and misses them both. If he makes one, they've got to go for a 3 to try to tie it up. If he makes them both, then you're back into the situation. Do you go for the 2 or do you go for the 3? And with 6 seconds...
You don't think about it. You just do it, right?
It's a greater likelihood with 6 seconds you might bring it down, Bruce, and take the long shot and go for the win.
Don't forget, plenty of heated action on the ice tonight. The Rangers and the Islanders from the Garden. It all begins with Rangers game night at 7 p.m. Mike Yost, 6'7" senior, Crespi High School, Chatsworth, California. At the line, 2 technical shots. Yost, 11 for 13 from the line.
Well, he's a seasoned veteran. Over his career, he's been here before.
3-point game. He misses. So the best that Loyola can do, if St. John's doesn't foul, is tie. And timeout is called by the Lions to discuss how they're going to get that 3-point shot. We'll take a break. We'll come back with the conclusion of the Lapchick Memorial Tournament in a moment. Paul. The situation is this. St. John's leading by 3. Loyola with the basketball. 6 seconds to play.
Loyola's going for the three-point shot. Look for Gaines and Fryer. Yost can even put it up from there. Could be anyone going for it. Gaines would be my choice, and maybe Fryer after him. Wouldn't be a bad strategy, Bruce, on St. John's part to reach in, force a one-on-one foul, where you think you get the rebound.
Fryer will throw in. He gets it to Gaines. Back to Fryer for three. The jumper is short. Rebound put up, no good. And that is it. St. John's was smart not to foul on the rebound. And the Redmen have escaped with an 88-85 win over Loyola Marymount. And they have won their 13th straight Lapchick Memorial Tournament final.
They were tested in this one, though. A lot of fight in this Loyola team, a team to be reckoned with out in the West Coast this year.
So the Redmen improved to 2-0. Loyola Marymount dropping to 1-1. But they sure gave St. John's a run for their money. And the Redmen had to hold on down the stretch. And there were some anxious moments for the fans here at Alumni Hall.
There were. Michael Porter missing that second free throw, which would have put St. John's up by 3, but then a great steal, a basket, and a lot of excitement right down to the stretch. Matt Brust reaching in for the technical. Yost makes 2 free throws, and there's a chance with a three-pointer that it could have been won by Loyola. Good win, though, for St. John's.
So the Redmen winning it by a final score of 88-85 at Alumni Hall. Boo Harvey with 18 points. 23 for Shelton Jones, 16 for Matt Brust, 10 for Michael Porter, but he made the big play after missing the second free throw of the 1-and-1. He comes up with the steal, and he gets the slam dunk, putting St. John's up by 4, and then you get the wildest play of the game. And Matt Brust gets called for a technical for reaching over the second or third time it happened today.
Yeah, that's just over-anxiousness. It looked, like he was going to get another steal, but at that point, Bruce, if you're aware of the score, the game's really out of reach at that point for Loyola. But good defense by St. John's on the inbound. Loyola got a shot, but Jeff Fryer just couldn't come up with it to tie the ball game.
Gathers finishes with 24 for Loyola, 20 for Corey Gaines, 22 for Mike Yost. And the presentations at Alumni Hall, Mrs. Lapchick presenting the awards to the respective players and teams. Here's Corey Gaines, the senior, the UCLA transfer who played a fine game. Mike Yost came alive in the second half. He finished with 22, but he was connecting in the second half. This is a very good Loyola Marymount team that will certainly battle for contention in the West Coast Athletic Conference. For St. John's, I really think that Lou Carnesecca will have a lot to talk to his team about.
He will. I mean, St. John's controlled the tempo in this game, which was very positive, but they almost lulled themselves to sleep in doing so in the second half and gave Loyola the chance around the 10-minute mark to start making their surge. So I think it's sort of that killer instinct. When you've got someone down, put them away. I think Louis might touch on that. But he's got a lot of bright spots coming out of this tournament as well.
That's it from Alumni Hall. For Ron Perry, I'm Bruce Beck. Thanks for joining us. The final score once again, the St. John's Redmen 88. The Loyola Marymount Lions 85. College basketball.
The too old for